design a performance technology class. And here's the description. And frequently that's all we get. Sometimes we get a textbook, but sometimes we frequently get a textbook too. But we have to do this in an online environment. And here's the course. This course presents the theory and application of the best practices of performance technology. Explore the methods, instruments, and tools that support the work of performance technologists and how they complete analyses, designs, and evaluations. So, at the 100 level, what would we do with those students? Knowing that we're building complexity as we go through the advanced levels. Sometimes we don't know that either. We don't get that luxury.
Yes. I want to know what is the product that the student should produce at the end of each of those courses, and align those products, those outputs, and then use those outputs to derive the content.
Okay, so you want to start at the end result.
Oh, you always
Always at the end, right.
Design backwards, you teach forward.
Right, okay. So at the end of a PT 100 class, what would your expectation be?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean,
all right.
you get the subject matter experts and you discuss what product do you expect to see at the end of if there's a sequential, you're assuming there's 4 sequence courses, right? So at the end product, what is the absolute product, and then scale it back.
Okay, so I consider, or would anyone consider him or herself in this room a SME, a PT SME? Anybody a subject matter expert here in performance technology? I kind of thought we all were. No, to be perfectly honest, I thought that a SME was unnecessary in this case because we would all serve in that capacity. All right, so let's start backwards. I'm okay with that. PT 7, especially that conflicting research. I was saying before the session started that in my work reviewing dissertations, I learned so much. You know, my students are, their topics are fascinating. Something I would never, ever, ever choose to read, you know, given my choice of A or B, oh, I would not choose that. But since I have to read it, you know, and I have to be, you know, focused on it to make sure that it makes sense, and that's probably one of my most common comments, and they're giving them feedback, is I can't understand this, you know, and if I can't understand it and I'm paying attention, the dean and the IRB and ARB is not going to get it, and you're going to end up having to do it all over again. So because I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure or duty of reading, you know, scholarly research or graduate student research, I should say, but the leaps in logic are sometimes so dramatic that you have no clue as to what happened in between. So that's the part that gets to be very interesting. And it's probably one of the hardest things I think that we were able to actually even demonstrate here is we could start at the end and work backwards, and then we could also name, you know, stake in the ground as to where the beginning was, but that middle part was a little bit less obvious, you know. Welcome to my world. You know, welcome to my world. We're trying to organize courses so that they make sense and that they're sequentially oriented. And the students, I don't know if students, are any of you students right now? How much attention did you pay to the objectives?
I did when I took it, but that's because of my field.
I know. It's probably an unfair question.
I was the worst student.
Oh, me too. Me too. If I see an objective that starts with the word understand, I want to rip it up and, you know, throw it in somebody's face. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. Understand, you know. And Janet used another example this morning when she said, yes, and then faculty, when I point that out to them, they go back and they revise their objective, bless their little souls, to demonstrate an understanding. Just to summarize where we've been this morning with this is that it's untested. No research to back it up. Some session, huh? Yeah. They gave her a PhD. That's what my family says all the time. It's messy, you know, designing instruction. If they could give us a template or a model and say, here, just fill in the blanks, that would be awesome. And if we could agree upon it, you know, that would be awesome. But I really challenge you to go forward and take my suggestions, because that's what they are, they're suggestions, and see if you can apply them to your design of instruction, and see if you can make it become more clearly stated and more sequentially organized from basic to advanced levels of learning for your students, to see if it helps them at all. You know, as people in the field, we do look at the objectives, but most students probably don't. Most faculty probably don't see them as the guiding principles for how the instruction is laid out and the goals and such. And I think that if we maybe create a better paradigm, that maybe they will pay more attention to that and be more focused on their own learning and their own teaching. So anyway, that's all I got. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your time.